Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to show you how I edit my Instagram photos and how you can possibly start a theme and or choose a theme. And all of that is going to be through a screen recording on my iPad. I'm just going to put it over here. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so starting off from my homepage, I am just going to go to my Instagram actually. I'm just gonna show you an overview of my Instagram and like what my feed looks like. So I have mine under a personal blog just so I can see my profile visits and you can check your engagement on each photo and stuff like that, so it's kind of cool. So this is what it looks like starting from the summertime. So I have my blue and green theme going on. Right here in the center is kind of more like an industrial like look. Got some orange going on and then more like blues. And then this is starting to go back to like my old theme, which was just like warm neutral tones is what I was going for. So I guess for some inspiration for a theme, I always hit up Pinterest and then I just search Instagram theme. And there are so many themes that you can choose. They even have like how you get the like look, especially if you have ViscoCam. I used to use ViscoCam. I don't really anymore just because I like Lightroom a lot better. There's way more options and you can basically get the same thing. But yeah, there's like a bunch of different themes that you can choose from. So we are going to hop into Lightroom, which is Adobe Photoshop. Here are some of my old pictures from the last shoot I did. I'm actually kind of sad because I didn't really get a lot that fit my theme, but we are just going to choose this guy right here. What I normally start off doing is pressing the auto button up there because that always just brightens it and it makes it look better. So you can just start there and then you can choose your option as you go. So I always start with the first one. I go to light. This already looks really bright, so if the picture is kind of dark, I just turn up the exposure. So exposure will make your picture brighter, but this one's already like bright enough, so I don't need to change that. Contrast just makes it like more contrast between lights and darks. So if you like put it to the left, then it'll make your photo look really drained, but if you put it to the right, then it'll be like super contrasted. So I just leave it how it was. Highlights will make your picture lighter or darker as well. I normally turn mine down just so I look a little bit more tan. Shadows do the same thing, but for the shadows, obviously. I try to keep my shadows like a little bit dark to add some contrast without fooling with the contrast option. Whites kind of like highlights and exposure. Blacks kind of like shadows. Okay. All right, then I go to color. And for my theme, since it's like bluish and greenish, I always turn the temperature a little bit cool. I always start off like around 7. I possibly go to 10, but 7 looks okay. Vibrance, I always turn the vibrance up. It makes you look more tan, it makes the colors pop. Vibrance is a little bit safer to play with than saturation because if you turn the vibrance like this, it just makes it look more vibrant, but if you turn the saturation, then you turn orange. So I don't fool with the saturation. Maybe like a couple more, but I normally just fool with the vibrance. Okay, effects. Why did I say it like that? Effects. Okay, clarity, I always go up to 100, and if the picture is in good lighting and it's like actually good quality, then turning the clarity up all the way is just gonna make it look like sharper. It's gonna make it look more high quality. But if you're in like a place that doesn't have a lot of light in it, or if it's just not, like if you're in a darker place and the picture just isn't as bright, if you turn the clarity up, it's gonna make it look very like staticky and grungy and pixelated. So you always want to check with the clarity. I always zoom in to see how the pixels look. This looks pretty darn good because the lighting was great. Okay, dehaze and vignette, I don't really mess with those, and that's literally all I do. I just mess with those 3 folder type things. So light, color, and effects. Sometimes if I want to, actually hold on, let me save this. Okay, let me show you another picture. If I want to get something that looks like this picture, which is kind of like grungy and the red is really popping and the yellow is really popping, I'll go to this button on the right. It's the little circles. Click that. And then under creative, you can choose like any of these guys. This is what gives you the same kind of effects as Visco Cam. Select Vintage Instant. I think that's the one I have on this one. Warm Shadows, Red Lift Matte. That's one of my favorites. That's where you get the creative like filter look on like an old-timey like vintage looking picture. That's where I got that from. Alright, so now that we're here, I also want to show you an app called UNUM, which is how you can plan out all of your feed before you post it. So for instance, when you're on here, this has my whole entire Instagram feed on it. And then in this bottom right corner of each picture, there's a little Instagram icon if it's already been posted. So this guy is where I am, the green and yellow flower picture. And then, oh wait, no, I lied. This is where I am, my hand in the ocean picture. I'm posting this guy next. And then this is really cool because you can select a photo, and then at the bottom there's like a little squiggly line. You can choose that option and it makes your pictures like go down, and it shows the next 3. So you can see how this looks like. That's gonna, or wait, hold on. That's how it's gonna look whenever I post that picture, and then when I post the next one, it's gonna look like that for the top row, and then it'll look like that. So basically you can just fool around with that. You can also press the far right option on the bottom and select any picture from Instagram that you want to hide, just so you can see what it looked like if you deleted it. Like maybe I want to delete all of these. That's what my feed would look like without them. And then all of that good stuff. You can even swipe different, or you can even swap different pictures out like that. You can delete them, start over. You can click this and just add. You can do so much in this app, and it's free and it's awesome, and this is really helpful if you're gonna start a feed, because you really want something that you can plan all your Instagram photos out with so you can see if it looks good. And there are several apps for this, but I feel like this one's the best one that I've used. So yeah, that was UNUM. So that photo that I just edited, so this photo, I'll just demonstrate adding it to UNUM. I'm not gonna post it there, or I'm not gonna post it on my Instagram, probably not, but I'll just show. I'll just select the empty box, the plus sign at the bottom, and then there we go. So this photo right here was taken at the same angle as the one I just added, and I want it to be, or I want to be in the center, so I can show you how I crop it in the app. So you'll press the 3 lines at the bottom, then you'll go to crop, and then adjust the crop. I'm gonna put it like so, apply, done, and then it moves me in the center just like that. Alright, and that is all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you learned some tips and tricks and hopefully got some inspiration possibly. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. You can also drop a comment leaving me anything. That would be cool. Alright, and that is it. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.